I had an experience when my sister was engaged to this guy who had a thing for me, and I shut that down, and then he spread all this stuff and it got out to my friends and family when I was just really trying to tell my sister to like stay away, and I got called a slut for it, saying like it was all my fault and that it was my intention to do that. So it hits home. So if a girl was to go sleep with like 3 different guys, if you knew her, you might think differently, but I don't know, like girls view each other differently. It can either be a, wow, I don't like her because she did that, or if you knew her, you would be like, well, she's going through a lot or something like that. And then guys would just be like, you have the guy that would be like, I'm gonna go for it because obviously she's into that, or the guy that's like, she needs to stay away from me. Many girls, like if you ask pretty much any girl in high school if she's been called a slut, she's probably gonna say yeah. It's really all about like judgment and different like people and their different views. Like you have to respect people, not by calling them names. Like what are you getting out of it by calling someone that? I hope we get over it. I think girls should definitely stand up and take a stand for themselves. They know themselves more than other people do. If we could teach people that calling people names like that isn't okay, especially if you don't know them or their situation or anything about them, because that's really common. Like they don't know them, but oh, I'm gonna call you a slut. Like that happens all the time, and it shouldn't. It can be prevented by just like being nicer to people. Like you never know when it's your last day, so might as well be nice to everyone.
People have an opinion about girls and what they do, and sometimes when you go out and talk about a person, you don't really know them, that can really hurt a girl's self-esteem. In our generation and in our time period now, it's become a normalcy. It's not something you don't see every day. So I think we've kind of become numb to the situation. Definitely have had friends who have been put in situations where their reputation has been demolished because of a rumor that went around about them. But I think it's become a part of our generation where as male and female teenagers just think it's a cool thing to do and that it doesn't affect anybody. And as students, we can become less tolerant of the situation. Put yourself in the perspective of the other person, and just be a little bit more comforting in the situation, and don't take it so lightly, because it could be you, or it could be your best friend one day, or it could be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and even though you know it's not the truth, you know, you have to sit back and really put yourself in that person's shoes. It happens on a daily basis, and we've kind of like turned our eye to it. Your mother, would you want somebody saying this about your mother, or your grandmother, or your sister? The solution would have to be coming from both sides of the spectrum. The person who is doing the slut shaming and the person who is being slut shamed. Because sometimes people can put themselves out a certain way, where they look a certain way and people think they act a certain way. And so it's very easy to make assumptions about that person.
I don't like it because I feel like it could lead to worse things.
Like what?
Like people like not feeling good about themselves, and like questioning themselves. Like there's rumors that some people told me about, and like there's names like slut, you know, hoe, or all that stuff, and it made me feel bad, but I went and talked to my closest friends, and they made me feel better, because I know it's not true about me. So
I've been called it a lot of times, like just like, I mean, people that's like talk bad behind my back.
My ex, he was talking bad about me after we broke up and stuff, And I was sad, but then we got back together. And then after he broke up with me a second time, I was all sad and stuff, but my stepmom told me to show him that I don't need him and to be happy. So I mean just try your best to ignore it and just worry about your real friends.
I think that it is a very prominent issue, especially in today's society, because a guy can go and do whatever he wants, and a girl can go and do the same thing, or even to a lesser degree, and she's even more made fun of and shamed and called out on it more than any other guy ever would be. And so I think it's a very prominent issue in today's society.
I hate the word slut because I don't understand why a girl gets classified as a slut and a guy gets classified as getting some action. So I think that it's possible for it to end. It's going to be very hard to open up people's minds to the equality of men and women.
Instead of taking it and letting yourself be ashamed for just doing something that's not wrong in any kind of way. And yeah, I don't think there's enough out there to prevent it.
But I think it's mainly an issue for girls who deal with feeling like they're confident in their sexuality or confident in how they get to express how they feel. And I think that it's wrong to say that a girl is a slut because of how confident she is in herself and how confident she is in expressing herself and being with people, and I don't think that's right.
It's simply the relationships that I've been in, being in a lot of relationships, serious ones that mean a lot to me, whereas a guy can go and have flings that mean nothing to him and that isn't looked at twice, whereas me for having, what, 4 relationships in my whole life, and I'm automatically deemed, you know, a slut for jumping in with relationships, and I don't think that's right for not even doing anything publicly.
And then I see my friends getting called sluts because maybe they are open about their sexuality to people that they're close to, and then that is disclosed to other people, which is wrong in and of itself. And I honestly believe that our generation could be the change that we need. We could be the change that brings that forth, an end to slut shaming.